Instant, like VM creation won't take much time. Try to create the VM and log into the Azure portal.
Okay.
So now here we come.
Which part is much critical, sir, to handle, like VM creation or VNet creation resource, all are, I think it won't be much critical
Yeah,
to.
VNet design is the challenging part.
Okay.
So all these, how to design depends upon the client requirements and on-premises to like cloud Azure kind of integrations. And we may have three kind of networks we have. One is Azure. Second one
Okay.
is on-premises.
Okay.
Third one is Microsoft kind of Intune 365. This is another network, assume.
Okay.
All the three need to be integrated when we need to give the solution to the client.
Mm. Okay.
You got the point, right?
Yes, sir. Setting up the infra is much challenging than
Setting,
BAU activities.
designing of that.
Yeah.
Because we need to involve in those design kind of activities and on premises to like Azure to like both it need to communicate. You need to communicate with like 365. It need to communicate. It need to communicate with on premises also.
Okay.
So there, how we'll give the like internet we need to access, or maybe private express route kind of connections that supporting on premises also. These all we need to set up.
Okay.
Then remaining most of them infrastructure related are straightforward resources itself.
Okay.
And this kind of key vaults, certificates, those also we need to understand. Say here we have the key vaults, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
what key vaults is going to do is if we have any sensitive details are there, like maybe passwords, certificates, or any keys, those we need to pass as the key vaults.
Yeah.
Means directly we shouldn't enter the passwords, we shouldn't enter.
Okay.
We need to pass it as the key vaults kind of thing.
Okay.
Then come to the other services. Like today we'll create database kind of thing. You may have
Okay.
already worked with of the database. Say what are the databases options we have from the Azure. We'll discuss. Say, we want maybe say suppose even for Citrix also we want the database, right? Say
Yes,
Citrix
sir.
Citrix supports MySQL servers. Say assume we want a MySQL server here. Azure database for
Yes.
MySQL server, and here we are using what are the databases it supports is it is supporting MySQL also. Azure databases for MySQL it is supporting. It supports Postgre also. So MySQL, Postgre we have, and anyhow Microsoft itself having MS SQL server. So Oracle. So recently they have given Oracle database also. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
these all the databases mostly it is supporting. Even if you want maybe MariaDB also. Okay, MariaDB also it is supporting. We'll go for database kind of services. So here in the SQL or we'll go for database. So now here in the database, what are the services we have is SQL databases or Oracle. Oracle they have implemented MySQL and Cosmos DB. What is that Cosmos DB? We'll discuss. So Cosmos DB is some kind of like NoSQL kind of database. So previously we have SQL kind of databases. So here we have SQL versus NoSQL. Okay. So what is the meaning of SQL is it's a structured query language. In the
Yes, sir.
structured query language, most of the enterprises for security purpose, okay, so for large scale, they're going to use SQL databases. But NoSQL kind of databases also they're getting more popular. Any idea of NoSQL kind of databases? We
No,
have MongoDB,
DynamoDB.
Redis. Yeah, in AWS we have DynamoDB. Okay, so that kind of similar kind of NoSQL kind of database from Azure is called as Cosmos DB. It's a serverless kind of thing. Okay, and NoSQL kind of database. But if you come to SQL, we have MS SQL Server. Otherwise, we have MySQL. MariaDB is also MySQL fork itself. That means MySQL is an open source. From that itself, MariaDB also has been came. Then on top of this, we have MySQL, MariaDB, Oracle, PostgreSQL we have. Okay, so for all these, we are going to, like normally if we want these servers, what we need to do is, we need to take a VM. On top of that,
You need to
we need to
install
install. But here, whatever the database services we have in the Azure comes under PaaS-based
serverless
services, not serverless, most of them. Those are
pass
PaaS-based services. That means like that VM, network, storage, all those you no need to worry. Who will take care all those?
Azure
Azure will take care. Okay. On top of that, just we need to install the like a SQL.
platform.
Yeah, the platform managed by Azure itself. Okay. Say it would be managed by the Azure itself. Then the backups, provisioning, high availability.
Application,
Okay. Say all those taken care by.
Azure,
You want to update or roll back. So those also can be taken care by Azure.
Azure Chef,
So that is the advantage to use managed services. Even still, you can take a VM. On top of that, we need to install the VM. We need to take care the backups. We need to take care the upgrades, patching. We need to take care restoration. We need to take care. But if you go for the patch-based services, most of them have been taken care by the provider itself. In this scenario, our provider is Azure. So that is the purpose we are going to use like Azure patch-based services we are going to use. Azure patch-based services we are going to
and
use. Okay. So in this we have the different type of SQL databases, NoSQL kind of databases have been supported. Okay. So now here if you come for this, even they're supporting Redis also. So Azure Cache for
it is
Redis. So then all this depends upon our project requirement, our business requirements, database admins or maybe like uh, developers. Someone may be asking us to provision these kind of databases, and we need to provide the databases for them. Say we may have already installed MS SQL Server. Then here we are going to use SQL databases or SQL servers will provision. So now here we can create the SQL servers also. That means this is creating one database server is going to provision. Okay, say SQL database server is going to be provision. Otherwise, we can go for, say here we have a lot of databases are there. Azure Cache is there. Depends upon your requirements, we need to manage. And what is this database migration service will do? If you have any on-premises kind of database,
database.
okay, what is the meaning of on-premises?
Its own data center.
Yeah,
In-house system.
in our say suppose now all these days we have maintained that on premises kind of database. Today what we need to decide, we have decided is to migrate to cloud. Okay, so then Azure Database Migration Service will help us to migrate those kind of databases on premises to Azure Cloud. So for that we are going to use the DMS. Okay, so and second what it supports is schema level also. That means on premises I have MySQL. Now I want to change to maybe Postgre like this. If we want to change also, it supports. Okay, and third one is whenever we want to perform schema level changes, those also we can perform using like a DMS kind of services. On premises to cloud also we can migrate, or any schema level changes also we can perform. And one region to another region also, if we want to replicate, that's also we can take care. Okay, so then here we'll create one MySQL. Mostly we would be getting MS SQL servers or MySQL servers. Then we are going to create one MySQL kind of servers we are going to create. Say it's just like an instance itself, fully managed MySQL server, that is they called as flexible servers. So now here a free tile, we'll use the existing resource group itself, maybe JPMC. Then we need to give the server name. So I gave JPMC MySQL server and which version of MySQL we want. Okay, so 5.x we used to have, but most of them end of life is declared. Hence we are using 8.x. And here for workload is like maybe for critical workloads or small and medium. As of now, this is a free tier we are choosing for development or maybe for the primary like a personal purpose kind of projects. And what is the meaning of burstable is if more demand comes, it can scale up also automatically.
Mm.
Okay, and what is the meaning of geo redundancy? They're going to keep in the multiple zones also. It's a multi-aged kind of thing. But if you go for a tier 1, then mostly they will enable which type of processor you want, and all these options we can choose for the production. And for the high availability also, we can configure the high availability. They'll charge more. Okay, same zone or zone redundant, which is recommended. We are going to keep two servers kind of thing. Okay, that stand
High
the primary,
availability.
yeah. So high availability itself, better to keep it in the same zone, or zone redundant is recommended.
Zone redundant
Zone
is recommended.
redundant is recommended. Okay, and what is the by default the backup? How many days it is going to like store those backups? 7 days we are going to.
7 days.
And even for the backup also we can configure zone redundant kind of thing.
Okay.
For the backup also we can configure the zone redundant kind of database we are going to configure. Okay, so as of now we no need of these all the servers. Okay, so with the basic options we are going to create, but when we are creating for the production, like high availability also is very important. Then we need to go for zone redundancy. The 8.x we are going to choose. Okay, so then I chosen for development. In the real time, we may have either small or medium for dev and QA. Tier 1 will choose for production workloads. And definitely geo redundancy we need to enable. Okay. So as of now it's not required, but minimum we need to choose minimum two available zones. And you can integrate with Azure Active Directory or Entra ID also for the authentication. Means already that authenticated user from the AD itself can log in. But as of now, in this, we are going to use like even in our SQL server also, we have Windows authentication, or like we can give SQL authentication, mixed kind of mode. So here, if I give both is second level of authentication. MySQL will have plus Active Directory also we have. Okay, as of now, I'm going to configure MySQL. Then I'm going to set the password here. Confirm the password. Then we need to design the networking also. So mostly we may not give the public access to the production databases. We'll integrate with the VNet itself. Okay, so giving public access to the databases is very, very risky kind of thing. So for the security purpose, all those, that's the reason we're not going to give public access. We can integrate with our own VNet itself, and only from that VNet only is going to access that. Okay, so then we can give the private DNS name also. That means we want to access over a DNS name, not only the IP address, we can give the DNS name also. And 99% is recommended to enable the encryptions also. And we'll go for the security also. So now here we are going to use key-based security kind of thing. Okay, we can select a key. See, from the key vault. Okay, that means if any sensitive details, all those are there, is going to be connect like using that key pair itself, the encryption is going to happen. Okay, as of now, we don't have any key vault. So this is not recommended, but for this changing the before itself, we need to have a key pair. Let's go to that. We'll create a key pair here. Same, it should be in the same resource group. So key vault is like it should be publicly available to everyone. And which we are going to use central India. So if you are using like Azure kind of key vaults, region is also one of the constraint, because one region like here we use in this region, right? Other region keys may not be coming, and here standard and like better to go for premium for production key pairs. For the production key pairs, it's recommended to go for. So what is the advantage of using the key pair from the vaults is our passwords, all those can't be disclosed. Our passwords, all those can't be disclosed. Then how to recover all those and how many days they're going to retain. Role base itself I'll give. For the disk encryption we can use, or for virtual machines with the disk communication also. Yeah, I'm going to create the key vault here. That key vault we'll use in our database now. So this key is used to encrypt the data. Today, clients definitely in the US are need to follow a lot of security kind of standards. All the data they want to encrypt. For this, they're going to use these key pairs. We'll wait for some time. That RBAC need to be assigned. So what is the meaning of RBAC is role-based access control. While creating that key pair, we have given the permissions through RBAC. Okay, so just now we have assigned, right? If role assignments were recently changed, please wait several minutes. So here I'm not getting that permission to this user account. So with this user, we have login. We have here global admin, right? Most of the permissions will come for the global admin. So here flexible server. X. If you choose no preference, any of the zone automatically Azure will choose. Networking, I'm giving private access. Already VNet we have in that is going to create. And we are getting one DNS name also. That key which we have created, we are going to use it. Here we didn't give the username. MySQL, we are going to use the username. User identity. See, they have a lot of actions have been added. They have changed. We'll see once we create the MySQL. So we want to access that MySQL means we have two methods. One is MySQL client should be there on our machine, or if we are using Windows, we need to have MySQL workbench. Okay, so MySQL workbench, just like in SQL Server, we'll have SQL Studio. If we want to connect to SQL Server, we are using SQL Studio, or we may use PowerShell commandlets to connect to SQL Server. So now here in this scenario, we have either MySQL client or MySQL workbench. Using this, we are going to connect it to this database. And in our environment, have we given the public access to that? Have given the public access to that?
Private access.
Private access. That means over the internet we are not able to access. First we need to connect to one jump server as a like which is having a public access, and from that we are going to
Connect.
connect it to that MySQL. Once this database has been done, like today everyone download one tool called MySQL Workbench. Okay, so this software we need to download on your laptop. From this, but here in this scenario, if you want to connect, we can't connect because we don't have the public access. So, but for practice purpose to connect to the database, give the public access to that. But in the real time, it's not recommended to give the public access. In the same way, say try to create one SQL server also. Okay, say SQL server we have, right? Try to create SQL server also try to create. Now this resource we got this database. Say here JPMC. Either this is also we can use DNS name, because that is the reason they took one this JPMC MySQL server. It should be like uniquely available for us. Based on that server name, we are going to connect, or we will get one IP address also. Using that also we can connect, but as of now they're giving the DNS name itself. Make it a public kind of thing. Then, like why we need that MySQL kind of databases? You have any Java related project or PHP related project, we can administrate it through connecting from MySQL Workbench, and we are going to deploy. Already we deployed a static website, but now we need to deploy one LAMP base. What is the meaning of LAMP is? Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. This application, once we set up, we need to use the scale sets to auto scale this one, and we are going to attach the load balancer also. Okay, only giving one server is not an enterprise use case. What we need to do is we need to use the scale set and we need to use the load balancer. What scale set will do? What scale set is going to do it is going to scale up more VMs depends upon the load. If the load comes, automatically more VMs are going to scale up. And what load balancer will do? What load balancer will do?
Distribute the traffic.
Yeah, distribute the traffic which is the coming to that load balancer. It's going to redirect to
Next available.
Servers.
say next available like which of the healthy kind of target it is going to redirect.
Okay.
Okay, we can set up this with the static website also, but with the dynamic application having a database is the best practice.
Oh,
Okay, so that's in order to set up, we need a database also. and try to create the Cosmos DB and all these also try to create. SQL Server also try. As of now, MySQL we have installed. In your project, you may get the requirement to install Postgre, Oracle, SQL Server. All those databases try to create. After that, delete those databases also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we can give the permissions either through RBAC we can give. Uh, we'll create more users there. You will get, because everything we are doing with the root user, right? That Ashok user itself we are doing, but in
Yes,
your
yes.
job we'll have thousands of employees. For everyone, we are going to manage those users itself.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
You could have also.
That, till this, try to create all this.